Good evening, everyone. We are spot on time because the clock is striking. I'm Ellie. I'm one of your hosts for the evening, and welcome to our offer holder day and open day. And with me here today is
I'm Emma Jumps, and welcome to our open day today. And I'm here on campus at the university. So what we want you to do is say hi and where you're watching from, which would be amazing, please. We have Ryan, who is out in the rain at Lincoln Cathedral there. Tell us where you are, Ryan.
Yep, so I'm up at Lincoln Cathedral at the minute, in the Bailgate area. As you say, it is a bit rainy at the minute, but that's okay, and I look forward to taking you through the city centre.
Thanks, Ryan. And also here with us, we have our wonderful producer and alumni, Darren. Hello, Darren. Tell us where you are and what you're doing with us tonight.
I am not in a glamorous location like Ryan. I'm just in my work at my home office. But what I'm going to be doing a little bit later is, as well as helping to produce this wonderful virtual open day, I'm going to be back with Marvin, who's another alumni, and we're going to be talking about all the things you need to sort of do to be prepared for university. All the exciting things you need to be doing, all the sort of making friends tips and all that sort of stuff. We will be talking about it. So prepare your questions for us and join us a little later.
Thanks, Darren. And hi to everyone who's watching us. It's really great to welcome you here. Lincoln is a really friendly university. We're hoping to introduce you to our university and our wonderful city tonight. And to start off, I'm going to ask Emma to run through the schedule so you know what time everything is going to be happening today.
Absolutely. You need to bear with us because sometimes timekeeping is not absolutely spot on. But the run through is we're gonna sort of join with Ryan and sort of let you show the sort of beautiful city of Lincoln and show you sort of the Bailgate area down to the High Street and how absolutely close we are to me here at the university campus. We are then going to go and meet Georgia, who is one of our student leaders for the Students' Union. Georgia is going to let us know all of the things that we've got planned for the autumn. So there's lots of things planned for the autumn. And so she's going to tell us all about that and what the SU is all about, really. So you need to sort of think about what it is and how you want to get involved. We're then going to go over to Vicky. Vicky is in our St Mark's Accommodation, which is brand new for this October, so very excited. It's absolutely beautiful, and she'll have you a little walk round of that area and show you the living space and bedroom space. We're then going to meet Andre. Andre is a student with us, a current student, and he's going to tell us about some of the opportunities that he has had since being a student, particularly studying abroad. And then we're going to meet the amazing Caroline Connell. Caroline is our head of admissions, and she's going to tell us all about how you can still apply and also our flexible approach to when we get our results this year. So a little bit more insight into the application process. And as Darren has said, Darren and Marvin are going to head us up at 6:25. But for the parents that are watching, at 6:40, Curtis is going to have his own little slot to talk to you about all of the things as a parent you would like to know about your son or daughter joining university.
Thanks, Emma. That was a huge amount to get through. Thank you. So say hi in the chat. Tell us whereabouts you are in the world. And if you've got any questions, please post them. Massive hi to Georgia, who's already in the chat. And you'll see that lots of our colleagues are in the chat. So if you've got any questions, we'll try and answer them. And also all of our friends and colleagues will pick up and answer some of those questions. So do say hi and tell us where you are. Also, we're going to be having a really good chat to Ryan, finding out what's going on in the heart of Lincoln. So it's early evening. Ryan, you're one of our alumni. Tell us where you are and what you're up to.
Yeah, so hi everyone. So currently at the minute I'm outside Lincoln Cathedral, which as you can see is an absolutely amazing building. Yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic here. And then if I take you through this area here, we'll have a little walk into the Bailgate area. And
That's
over
brilliant.
here we have opposite, so we have the castle over there as well, which is also amazing. And then sort of if you joined us last weekend, there was also like a lovely little market that was just in and around this area. But yeah, it's just such a nice area. It's got so many nice restaurants, so many nice like coffee houses, everything, pubs. It's just a really nice place to come with your friends, really, or when your family visit you. So if I turn around, obviously you can see the castle there, just behind me. Ellie will probably tell you a few more facts.
I am going to, Ryan. I am going to. You're not giving me time to get my bits in. But yeah, I have to tell you a few interesting facts. But first, hi to Noor, who's joined us. Hi to Joe as well. If you want to chat with us, literally click on to take you either through to YouTube or through to Facebook. And hi, Eve, it's really nice to meet you and be great to know where you are. And if you've got any questions, meanwhile, exactly where Ryan is standing, you can see the most amazing cathedral in the world. And in my opinion, I should probably say, and hi, Keris. So the cathedral dates back to 1072. It is a wonderful example of a medieval building. You will go a long way to find anywhere as beautiful as Lincoln, I believe, in the world. And equally, the castle that Ryan's already pointed out is also an 11th century Norman castle. So if you've got an interest in history, particularly medieval history or Roman history as well, because Lincoln was a stronghold for the Romans, it was even a Roman retirement home. And I can see Ryan starting to look bored, so I will stop talking about history, and I'll ask Ryan to say something about graduation, which normally happens in the cathedral.
Yeah, so graduation for me is literally a day that will stay with me for the rest of my life. It was just such an amazing place, and it never ceases to sort of take your breath away, really. When you go in there, yeah, it's just such an incredible day to celebrate it with your sort of friends and family, really. And yeah, it's just something great to look forward to.
Thanks, Ryan. And we are lucky enough to be in the beautiful Vale area of Lincoln there, which, Emma, I know you won't talk about history. You'll talk about shopping. And
I will talk about shopping. I will talk about the amazing pubs, restaurants. As Ryan is walking down the famous steep hill, there are lots of restaurants. There's Brown's Pie Shop, which is very famous for its pies and particularly sort of hot chocolate takeaways over lockdown. And there's places like the Wigan Mitre, which has got an awful lot of history to it, actually, but amazing meals and loads of really unique little sort of boutiques and shops. So something for everybody, I would say. So mums and daughters can certainly purchase down the steep hill, I think is fair to say. So yeah, it is a little bit, certainly when we do have our graduation, I can certainly say you don't want to be walking down there in heels, and that is certainly talking from experience.
And I can see that Darren's agreeing with you there. But Emma, I've got to interrupt for two reasons. One, because we need to say goodbye to Darren. Thanks for being with us, Alumni Darren. It's lovely to see you. You'll be producing our excellent open day today. And also a massive hello to Noor, to David, to Debbie, to Brian from Salisbury, to Alice even from Oxfordshire, Martina, Ethan from Bedford. Hello to Aurora from the South Coast. What a beautiful name. Sophie in Canada. Hi. You should come to a university in England. It's a brilliant place to be. And Lincoln is one of the most beautiful places to be. Eve from North Yorkshire. Hello. Belle from Doncaster. Hello. Poppy. Hello, Poppy. You're from Plymouth. I'm sort of from Plymouth, so I come from a place called Nosmeo, which you might know, Poppy. So do say hi if you know Nosmeo or Yompton, and that will be lovely. It'll be a home for me. And on that, we return to Ryan, who's at the Narnia lamppost in Lincolnshire.
If I can try and get that in screen just behind me there. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a famous lamppost if you're from Lincoln, really. Lots of people like it. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, there's just loads of little sort of little boutique shops, which Emma alluded to, which are just really nice to go inside. And yeah, great for a day out in Lincoln. But yeah, I'll stop speaking there. But obviously, as we carry on going down Steep Hill, we'll move towards the campus, which is just over there. And it just shows you sort of how close we are to Steep Hill and the cathedral area.
And one of the reasons I mentioned Narnia is because Emma and I often disagree as to whether the Vale is more like Middle Earth or like Diagon Alley, although I'm not sure, Emma, you care as much as me.
I probably don't, to be fair. But I think that is fair to say that. But all I would say is it is well worth a visit, and it is absolutely beautiful. And there is so much character to that area. And Lincoln people are very friendly. Lots of waves there to sort of wave to Ryan. No doubt.
He just knows everyone, Emma. That's why.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, I guess it probably is. He's been here. He's lived here for 3 years and now has stopped here. So that's probably why. And you can see that he's sort of reaching the bottom of Steep Hill now. And as he reaches to the bottom, he's sort of, this area is called the Strait. So it's just the gradient is just slightly more appealing to your heels. And we're sort of going down through to the High Street area really now, where sort of the big name shops are. But yeah.
It looks fabulous. And Aurora, there are a bunch of bookshops and cafes just dotted around. And just to answer Fiona, I can guarantee that all 2020-21 students will have the opportunity to attend an in-person physical graduation. So please be assured that will definitely happen as per all the information that's gone out. So hopefully that reassures you, but thank you for joining us. Emma, we're coming down to the main shopping area, and it's a brilliant place to be. Me and Emma sometimes walk up here when we get the opportunity, don't we?
We do. It's very exciting now. All of the shops are open, and as restrictions sort of lift a little bit more, then more of these sort of shops and restaurants will open. And you can see it is in the evening, this area, it is a mix of sort of mainstream sort of names. I think as Ryan walks a little bit further, we've got a brand new TGI Fridays sort of planning to open at any point. And then obviously the individual sort of pubs and restaurants. And so there is definitely something for everybody in Lincoln, and it's also close. And I think that's what we're trying to sort of really point out to you right now. I mean, I would, from where I am sat now, if the light was in the favour, this morning you could see literally the cathedral at the back of me, but the light sort of is brightened up a little bit since this morning, so it's you're struggling to see it right behind me, but actually you'll be able to see how close everything is in Lincoln, which is absolutely incredible, and you can walk everywhere. And from any of our accommodation, you can walk around the city as well, so you would never need any transport once you're in Lincoln.
And Katie's just reminded me, and Dan asked this question earlier, Emma, and I meant to answer it earlier, but we're being asked if we do on-campus tours. We are doing on-campus tours. So if you want to arrange to visit our campus, you can go onto our website, and there's a form, I believe it's on the front page of the website, and you can just register your interest, and one of our team will ring you up and arrange a date and a time for you to come and have a tour of the campus, which is beautiful. We will be showing you the campus in a minute later on. I must mention, we did just go past the Wildwood, which I think is an amazing bar because it's got a cinema in it. So you can go and watch a film whilst you have a meal, which I think is brilliant. It's one of my favourite places. Emma, what's your favourite place to go in Lincoln?
Where Ryan has just been, really, up in that Belgate area. You know, I just sort of love looking around all of that area. That, you know, having lived in Lincoln all my life, there is absolutely always something new that you find in that area. So it's that's been quite an advantage for me during lockdown, sort of exploring all of these places that you'd probably just drive through. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Some beautiful buildings up there as well. So that's probably my favourite, I have to say. I quite enjoyed that.
Keris has just asked us a really good question. I'm going to try and answer. In terms of supermarkets, which ones are close to the university? There are lots of supermarkets that are really, really close to the uni. And I can see that one of our ambassadors, Connor, is there. I might ask him to answer this one, but you can walk to Sainsbury's, to Morrison's, to there's a little Tesco Metro that Ryan will walk past in a minute, literally a stone's throw. And here we've stopped at the beautiful Stone Bow. And I always love this because this is where Henry VIII stayed. He passed under this when he came to Lincoln. Oh, Ryan, you've made a friend.
I think I have, yeah.
So Ryan, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so again, sort of this is in the centre of Lincoln now, and this is the Stoneboat area, but there's just so many sort of shops and bars and restaurants and little tea rooms where you can just go with your friends or when your family come to visit, and it's just a really nice area. It's not so busy at the minute because obviously the rain, but during obviously the summer when it's a lot hotter, it's a lot busier, and it's just just a great place.
No one queuing in Primark, Ryan, at the moment.
No, there's no queue today.
And I think the other beauty of being in Lincoln and being a city centre campus is there's also sort of Deliveroo, which lots of people, I have been told, I have the beauty of being able to live in the city centre, and that sort of becomes the norm for me. But I've been told by several people that that's actually quite unique to be able to sort of have Deliveroo, and all of our accommodation would enable that because we are city centre. So that's something else to add to our, you don't always need to go out to the supermarket.
Well, we are unique because we're a campus university. So we're an enclosed university where you can live either on campus or literally within 10 minutes of the campus, which you'll see when we look at our accommodation. And we have a beautiful large campus, but we're right in the heart of a city, which is incredibly unique to be able to do that. So as Emma was saying earlier, there's no need for bus rides late at night if you're going out. There's no need for a bicycle even. You definitely don't need a car. It's more trouble than it's worth. And Ryan's, you can tell he's one of our film and media graduates because he is so good at framing a shot and showing exactly how beautiful Lincoln is. Cara, you've asked if you can come for an in-person campus tour. Yes, you can. Please just go onto the University of Lincoln website and fill in the form, and we would be delighted to welcome you here to the University of Lincoln. I believe we're coming to Stokes's coffee shop, and I mean, Lincoln's such an interesting city. It's got its own coffee shop, which has been here for 120 years, and it really does do the best coffee in the world, in my opinion. Lincoln's unique because our population is around about 94,000. 1 in 5 people who live in Lincoln is actually a student. So it's a really student-focused city, and it's incredibly friendly, isn't it, Emma?
It certainly is. It is very friendly and very student friendly, which I think is the key to that sort of comment, really. Just picking up on Paul's question, yes, Paul, there are still spaces available in our accommodation, and we will very shortly, in about sort of 20 minutes or so, we'll be visiting Vicky, and she will be able to answer that for you, how to apply for accommodation and what's sort of available. So thank you for that, Paul, but we will certainly go back to your question and ask Vicky that in about 20 minutes or so.
So obviously you joined us with Ryan at the top of the hill, and we walked down the hill and we stopped in a few places, and in a moment Ryan is going to walk straight onto the campus of the University of Lincoln. You can see the beautiful Brayford, the river stroke canal which the university is situated by, and thanks, this is a lovely shot here, and it says, where are you going? Or is it, where have you been? Which one is this, Emma? Where are you going?
Do you know what? I should know that. One says, where are you going? And one says, where have you been? Doesn't it? So it's,
that one was, where are you going?
Excellent.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Ryan, while we've got you and you're walking, what's your favourite thing to do in the city?
Oh, there's so many things, really. There is literally something for everyone in Lincoln. So obviously I enjoyed sort of going out, nights out with your friends. But if you're not that way inclined, there's so many green spaces in Lincoln for you to enjoy with your friends for like a day out. Or there's also, we're quite close to the seaside as well, so you can always visit there as well. But yeah, there's just so much to do in Lincoln, really. And yeah, now I've made it to the lovely Brayford waterfront.
Wow.
The sun is trying to come out. And as you can see, obviously down the side here, you've got loads of restaurants, and it's just literally so close to the university main Minerva building, which is there. And you've got sort of your Wagamamas, your Odeon, which is there as well, which I went to a few times with my friends. Yeah, it's just stunning, really.
It is. Can you just show us behind you, Ryan? Because I can see the cathedral, which is where we've just walked from.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
just there. So that, as you said earlier, Ellie, that was one thing that really attracted me to this university. Was when I visited other ones, there was a lot of travelling involved. You had to sort of move to different areas, maybe for teaching or to meet with friends. Whereas at Lincoln, just everything is so close, and you can just walk everywhere, and it just makes life so much more convenient and so much easier. And so that was a massive thing that sold it to me, really.
and it really is a wonderful place to be. So there are tours which you can apply to join, so you can come and see it for yourself. And I do think if you possibly can, we always recommend try and come and see it, because you get a feel for whether it's the right university for you or not, I think, when you come here. And I must just say hi to Liam, who's joining us in October and can't wait. And he's going to study graphic design. Liam, if you've not filled in Friends for Life yet, please find Friends for Life on our website, fill in your details, and we'll help link you up with other people who are coming. Scott's saying, surely you're not going to miss the Cornhill Quarter. I know, it's stunning. It's amazing. It's just been done up. And you're right, Scott, we should have gone there, shouldn't we, Emma?
We should. And you know, we did do that at Christmas because it's absolutely beautiful with all of the lights. So I think that's the hidden gem that means that you have to come to Lincoln in person and sort of check out the Cornhill Quarter. And in that has just been done up, and it's absolutely amazing architecture. And there's places like the Botanist there. I'm going to sound like all I do is shop, which is probably what all I do. And there's whistles, and there's Hobbs, and there's the Cozy Club there, and a little coffee shop called 200 Degrees. Again, sort of. So it is and it is literally about a minute's walk from the bus and train station.
Hold on, Ryan. Show us that shot again, because sorry, Ems, I'm so sorry. I didn't want Ryan to move. What you were saying was brilliant, and I'm really sorry to interrupt, but this must be the most amazing Students' Union in. I keep saying everything's brilliant here. I'm so sorry, but it's the largest venue in Lincoln. It hosts everything. There's so much going on. We'll meet the head of the Students' Union, our sort of president for this year, our VP Education, Georgia, in a moment. And then next to it is the library, the award-winning library. It's open 24/7 at key points of the year, so you can literally study all night. And Emma, back to you. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. I'm just shopping again. And the Cornhill Quarter is well worth a visit, is what I'm going to say. But equally, the train station, as you can see, is literally, the train line is literally there, and we are, you know, on a weekend when everybody is. Making me feel seasick there, Ryan. We are literally. You can see on a Friday, people just literally walking to the train station, and as Ellie said, it is that close to the train station that you would not need or require any sort of transport to come with you to Lincoln at all. So please don't worry about that. It is that close to the train and bus station.
And what you can see, all of those buildings around there, we've got the business school, we've got the nursing school, our Sarah Swift building, there's accommodation there. I'm not even going to try and name it all, but Ryan, we're going to move on from you in just a moment. So you've got 60 seconds. What would you say to anyone who's thinking about coming to Lincoln this year and who's getting ready? What do they need to do to get ready to come to Lincoln?
Oh, there's so many things. I mean, I'd just say that if I could do my 3 years at university again, I'd absolutely love to. So I would highly recommend to anyone to come and study at Lincoln. But things to get ready. Obviously, sign up to Friends for Life to start chatting to your sort of course people that you're going to be studying with, and obviously start to maybe meet people who you're going to be living with as well, which is really important. And then just start getting all your shopping bits ready for when you move into your accommodation, really. And hopefully come and pay us a visit if you can. Come for the day and just get a feel for the city, really. And I think you'll really enjoy it. But yeah.
Ryan, you've been amazing, absolutely amazing. So we're going to say goodbye to Ryan as he walks us onto the campus.
Thank you, Ryan.
See you, everyone. Bye.
And we're going to go and join Georgia. Georgia is our Students' Union VP Education. She's also our acting president. Hi, Georgia. It's always lovely to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm prepared to go outside with a little bit of rain.
Yeah, can you see the rain that Ryan has just... And he's had his hair cut today as well, so I'll not be impressed.
Well, I've got my umbrella prepared as well, so it doesn't get my hair wet.
You are so prepared. No, before we go though, Georgia, tell us a little bit about what you do and what the Students' Union is and why people should get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Students' Union is literally here to try and help improve the student experience. Obviously, you come to Lincoln for your degree and to be able to study amazing programmes, but we're here to do the extra stuff. So we have a club venue, which Ellie mentioned earlier. So the engine shed, which I'll show you in just a second, it is literally below my feet right now. And we have our weekly club night quack, where we throw rubber ducks into the crowd and have a really great DJ, that kind of thing. And we have all of our activities, so sports societies, academic societies. After I've done my tour, I'll keep an eye out for all the comments in case anyone wants to ask about any of them. I'm always more than happy to answer. But we're essentially just here for anything extra that you want to do. We have great volunteering opportunities with our rep systems and all of our different associations, that kind of thing. So whatever you want to get involved in, we'll pretty much have it. And if we don't, we're always happy to start new things. So that's what we're here for.
And you do an amazing job at representing the students and making sure that everything the university does puts students at the heart of what we do. And I think, you know, you and the whole team have just been amazing this year, Georgia, and it's been really great to work with you guys. No, you're amazing. I mean, I'm really lucky. I work at the best university in the world. I work with Emma and a brilliant team, and it's really great to work with amazing students like Georgia. So, Georgia, on that, give us your tour. Show us what's going on in the Students' Union today.
Lovely. So I'm going to put my mask on so I can wander around. I hope you can all hear me well.
It matches my jacket.
I know. I have been searching for nice masks for ages, and I finally found some. So currently I'm in the Students' Union office. This is kind of like the unseen part of the Students' Union. But just out of our windows, you can see at the moment all of our outdoor seating that we've got set up for Towers, which is our kind of like sports bar venue. All of our activities tend to go for socials before any kind of events, that kind of stuff. So I'll show you a little bit more about that at the moment. Obviously, up until the 17th of May, we're all outdoors, but I'll give you a sneak peek in terms of what it looks like inside. So you can have that. I'm also trying not to fog up my glasses because I'm not going to be able to see very well if that happens. So,
no, be careful. Do not fall down the stairs.
I'll be watching where I'm going. So the outdoor area is part of our bar, and I'll show you more. On the inside, we have 3 kind of like bar venues. So we have Towers, and then we have the Swan, which is a pub on the other side of campus. That's kind of more like your home, away from home bar, which is what I always refer to it as. And it's really nice for like drinks with friends. I used to really love studying there when I was doing my degree, so good for that too. And then we also have the Barge, which is essentially a boat that serves cocktails, which is pretty exciting. So this is the inside of Tower Bar, which you can hopefully see.
Yeah.
It has 2 floors, so it's pretty big on the inside. I'm hoping my Wi-Fi stays not on and you can keep hearing me, but we'll see.
It's all good so far.
Just going outside, we have the outdoor Towers, if I can stand to the side properly.
Oh, there's plenty of people there.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's sticking under the umbrellas with all the heaters at the moment. There we go. Trying to see that one hand was a lot more
Now, Georgia's frozen for me for a moment, but I'm guessing she'll come back when she comes round the corner, Emma.
I
And
think we've had that before, haven't we? So I think she will reappear. I think it is just on that corner there.
now we have had a question from Cara about sports and societies, and there's well over 100 sports and societies that the Students' Union run. As Georgia was saying, the Students' Union is a separate organisation to the university, and Georgia's coming back.
Oh.
We lost you for a minute, Georgia, and now we've lost your picture.
I know. I'm just trying to see if my 3G will work instead.
Oh,
You
well
bear with me
done.
for a second.
No, that's okay. I was just saying about there's a whole range of sports and
Oh, no, it's being a
societies.
little bit stubborn. Very annoying. I'm going to walk back and see if that works.
Oh, thank you. We've got a bit of a response, thank you, with all of the sports and societies. So thank you to our amazing ambassadors that have answered that. But there is literally everything. And I think if we could see and hear Georgia right at this moment, if there is a particular sport that you play or you're participating and you can grab together a few friends and we don't run it, then yes, you can sort of start a society up. That's how brilliant
We do everything from bobsleigh right through to cheerleading, rugby. We do football. The sports part is really good. So, Georgia, we've got you back. Are you going out the back entrance? Or?
I tried to go out the front, but I don't think my Wi-Fi is strong enough, so I'm trying upstairs instead.
Oh, that's good. What I might do is ask Ryan if Darren, if you can contact Ryan and ask him just to go outside and see if we can connect to Ryan in a minute and he can just show us outside, because you might be able to go out and he can film you potentially. But
yeah, we can meet in the middle.
Exactly.
But this is the inside of Towers, like I said, a little bit of a more in-depth tour. And we basically have loads of outdoor seating at the moment, as well as indoor after the 17th. Like I said, that was a lot of stairs to walk up.
Well, the campus has been buzzing, hasn't it? Especially with the sunshine over the last couple of weeks. It's every time I go outside of my office, it's absolutely full of students, and the medical school have been doing their exams, so it's really full. And there's lots going on, and there's been it's like the campus is coming back to life this week, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much more kind of that people are actually able to get engaged with and get involved in. The library itself, there's been students in and out of that. That was like my favourite space during my time doing my undergrad, which seems a little cliche as the VP education, but I stand by it. And then we've got loads of different spaces across campus as well to be able to kind of go in, socialise and meet friends and do studying and that kind of stuff. So loads to get involved in.
And what have you really enjoyed about Lincoln, Georgia?
So I studied my degree in history, which I think we have some potential history students in the comments. And one of my favourite things about Lincoln history is that it's not only like what you read in the textbooks, but, you know, the cathedral itself and everything that you will be studying about, you can physically go and see, which is really cool. I was just going to see if I could get you a view of it, but I think part of our building is in the way. Yeah, the fact that you can literally walk up to Steep Hill and go and see kind of what's going on, I think, you know, reading the manuscripts and getting to know more about Lincoln itself and the city that you're going to be living in for 3 years. It's just incredible. I also got involved in lots of kind of activities as well throughout my time. So I helped co-found a sporting activity. So I helped co-found the fencing society. I can't fence, which is always a nice novelty. And then I also was involved in the drama society and the history society. So I got involved in loads whilst I was a student, and I could not recommend that more. Just to, you know, have more friendship groups, kind of do more things and have more like socializing and stuff like that. But there's just so much to get involved in. So as soon as you get to campus, go to all the freshers fairs, go find out, you know, where you can get involved and who you can chat to is my biggest piece of advice.
I think that's really good advice. And my big question, do we know what freshers is going to be like this year, Georgia?
So obviously we're following government guidelines at the moment and their guidance and things, but on a typical freshers, we have different fairs and things that students get involved in. So to meet all of our sports societies, academic societies, we also have one that kind of helps you get to know the larger like Lincoln community. So supermarkets, shops, basically all that kind of stuff, which is really good. And then we also have kind of events throughout freshers. So obviously social events, and we have like a nice mix of kind of night out alcohol type events and non-alcohol. So you'll find something that you like. We have mini golf this year, which is a really nice new kind of thing we're doing. And we're hopefully bringing that out as well before the end of this academic year. So if you do get the chance to come up to Lincoln, you might see some of that stuff. And we also have big kind of headliner events. So over the summer, we've got Becky Hill coming to perform. We've had Florence and the Machine before, Sean Kingston, Russell Howard. Like, it's kind of a mixed bag in terms of who you'll get, but they're always great. And I was looking back through my my memories from university, and I saw some of the people that we had on the Quack stage, and it blows my mind still thinking about all the different people we've had. So definitely keep an eye on the freshers pages so you can see who you can potentially see.
Now, Georgia, I know you're going to hate me for this, but if you don't mind heading down the stairs, Ryan is there and waiting for you, and I hope will enable us at least to go around the corner so we can get a bit of a view of the campus. I'm sorry, Georgia.
No. I'm hoping you can see it because it looks incredible when you can. So
It is
hopefully this
absolutely stunning. And there were some questions.
Hello.
There were.
We've met each other.
For me to just amazing. I think there was definitely a question as to how far away the sports facilities are in relation to campus, but they are on campus. So we've got our own. I think there's, Georgia will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 3G pitches, which is probably the wrong thing to say. And we've got 4 squash courts. We've got a huge sort of sports hall. We've got a fully fitted gym, dance studio, all sorts of things on campus. And with the other sports, there's things like sort of cricket. We've got our own sort of cricket pitch. We've got association with a swimming pool within the city, which is within walking distance. So there are loads of things literally on campus. Can we go back to Ryan and Georgia, do we think?
Oh, well done.
Oh,
hello, Georgia. Hello.
Well done. Thank you.
Well done. So, Georgia, we're going to hand over to you. We've got about 4 minutes. So show us what you can.
No worries. I'm hoping you can hear me properly because I can hear myself through here on there. But basically, this is kind of our outdoor area, the towers that I was trying to show you. And just down here, we have the engine shed, which is our biggest kind of gigging venue across Lincoln, I think. If not Lincolnshire, so that's where we have like Florence the Machine, all the comedians, all that kind of stuff. So there's plenty of things kind of going on through here. We always have our upcoming events, that kind of stuff over here. At the moment as well, which is pretty incredible, we've got the lateral flow testing in here, so it's really cool to be able to use our venue whilst we're not able to do gigs for like a really good purpose. So we're able to make sure all of our community is well looked after, being able to get their tests, that kind of thing. But yeah, so you can see all the way down, that is the length of the entrance shed and how big it is. And then at the bottom, you'll be able to see the L-pack as well, which I think you find out more about throughout. I won't steal Brian's thunder. But it's together a great place for performances, for hearing live music, all that kind of good stuff.
That is brilliant. Thank you, Georgia. There's also the library on the other side. There's the medical school behind. There's the art school behind. There's literally a TP down there, and you can see how much extra seating we've put in. And if it wasn't raining, I'm fairly confident it would be packed at the moment. Mm-hmm. So I want to say a huge thank you to Ryan, to running back up the campus. A massive thank you to Georgia. You were amazing again. Thank you.
Thanks, Georgia. That's great. We have had a question about looking and watching about the subject sessions, which I think is a very valid question, because you want to know what you're going to actually study at Lincoln if you would choose to join us. And yes, they are. You can just stay with us till sort of 20 to 7 before the Curtis takes on the parents talk. And at that point, go down on our webpage. Thank you very much, Darren. Literally at that sort of, just tag yourself in there and scroll down, and there is every sort of subject, there is a taster of every subject there that you can sort of have a look at. So stay with us for now, but then you can go across and have a look at the subject session when we've finished after Marvin and Darren's session.
Yeah, and those are a number of those are pre-recorded, so you can look at those at any time. You can come back and watch us again if you really want to. And now it is time for us to go and see what accommodation is like at the University of Lincoln. So, Emma, I think you're leading our accommodation interview.
Hello. So we are joined by Vicky in our accommodation. Tell us, Vicky, where you actually are.
You're mute, Vicky. Oh dear, what's going on? Not a good start.
2021 issues there.
So I'm currently sat in St Mark's, which is new for this year. So yeah, the brand new accommodation, which no one's had a chance to look around yet, apart from via video. So I'm going to give you a quick tour.
Oh yes, let's see it. So let's see it.
So
tell us
I'm
how
going to show you
many would live in this accommodation. So in this flat here, how many people?
So this flat specifically is for 12 people. Ones
Fabulous.
we've shown on previous open days have been slightly smaller, so you're getting to see a slightly bigger apartment today.
That's beautiful.
We'll show you the bedroom first. So as you come into the bedroom, on one side you have got your wardrobe and your desk with the overhead space. And then as you can see as well, you have got your drawers. It's perfect space to study, perfect little area, which I quite enjoy. And it's larger than a desk that I got at university, so I love it. And then opposite the desk, you've got a big 3/4 bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got both storage above. And below the bed. So if you're like me and you bring too much stuff with you, you've got plenty of space to hide it away or store it. And then as you're closer to the entrance of the room, you've got a full-length mirror with a plug socket. And then you have got your ensuite bathroom.
That's beautiful.
That does look really nice, doesn't it, Emma? I think we should be living there. I don't know why we're not.
It's certainly much tidier than my house, I can assure you.
So the rooms at St Mark's are very similar style to Signet Wharf. So even though you're only viewing one today, they are very similar in style. So coming back into the main space, you can see that you have got the large sofa space, which the squares, it comes apart so you can section it to how you like it to fit yours and your flat's living arrangement. So it's a great thing to adapt to how you live. And then out of the window, you can see just how close we are to campus. You should be able to see the medical school.
We can.
And then, yeah, and then just on the left-hand side next to the Holiday Inn, you've got the Gateway as well, another one of our accommodations. And then where Toby is showing you now, you should be able to see in the distance Morrison's, so you can really see just how close the campus is and how close the supermarkets are as well.
Yeah. That is amazing. We are so lucky because it is absolutely smack in the centre of every amenity, isn't it?
Definitely, especially St Mark's. It's kind of in the hub of everything. You've got so many different things in such a short space. And then this is a lot.
Is there much accommodation, Vicky? Because I know everyone watching will be, is there enough accommodation for everyone?
Yes. So first years are guaranteed accommodation, and the only accommodation that is full at the moment is Valentine Court, but that does have a waiting list, so it is ever changing, and you can still get into all the accommodations.
Fabulous. That's amazing.
And then as you come round, you can see, as this is a flat of 12, you've got plenty of workspace, surface space, cupboard, ovens, all well spaced out. And if you look out the window, you can see the courtyard areas that we have with the trees. There's some little bird houses, bike sheds. It's a very green, sustainable area. And then
Evelyn's asking a really good question, Vicky. Evelyn is asking, how is who you are in accommodation selected? Is it just random?
So when you fill out your form, if you can request for a quiet or a loud apartment, you can request to be with your friends. We do normally allocate with your year. So if it's first years, you will be allocated with first years. You can request to be allocated with people from a similar course, but normally it is just random, trying to get the best mix of people to kind of create a very nice social atmosphere for everyone, just to get to know as many people as possible.
That's lovely. And what if we've got some viewers today that are interested in postgraduate courses? Is there, what if you're a bit more, you know, a mature student perhaps? Is there sort of an offer for those?
So at the moment, we have got the St Mark's bursary for home postgraduate students. So if you do apply for St Mark's, then you've received 50% off of your accommodation fees for the next academic year.
That's an incredible offer. Wow.
Yeah.
And just to remind everybody, this is St Mark's. So Vicky is in St Mark's accommodation at the moment.
And Zoot21 says, can you tell us where the quiet apartments are, please?
So they're not in a specific place, if that makes sense. So we will allocate people, like-minded people together. So if there is enough people to request a quiet block, we will put all the quiet people in a block together. Or we will allocate accordingly to what best fits the space and the requirements of the incoming students for that year.
And Sophie LeDrew, who I think from memory is coming from Canada, says, are there special requirements for international students to get residencies?
No, it's just a slightly different application process. You just need to apply under the international student section, and then the contract length might be slightly different. But other than that, there is no difference at all. And if we can allocate to people who are from the same experience, so internationals can be grouped together, or they can request to be with UK people. It's completely up to them as to what they would like.
Eve has asked a question, do you offer studio apartments at Lincoln?
Yes, we have a variety. So we have some at the Gateway, which are just behind me. I don't know if you can see it out the window. We've got some at 179 as well. So we do offer them. And there are pictures, and I think even a video on YouTube of the Gateway studio apartments as well.
So if you go on the website and have a look at the accommodation pages, you'll be able to find them and you can have a look.
Yes.
All of the accommodation is fantastic. It does look really good. We're not going to be able to show it in person for a while because obviously we're not anticipating doing indoor tours for a while, are we, Emma?
No, unfortunately not. But as soon as guidance has lifted or allows us to then we will enable you to go in and have a look at the accommodation and speak to the accommodation team that are absolute experts. One question I have is the very obvious question that I don't think we've asked today is, how do you apply? So if I'm watching today and I think, right, that accommodation looks amazing, Vicky's told me there are spaces available, what and how do I go about applying?
So you need to go to our website and go under the accommodation tab, and then you'll be able to see the selection that we have available. So you'll see new undergraduate, returning undergraduate, postgraduate, or medical student, or international student. And if you click under each of those options, you'll be able to see which accommodation is available for you. And then you'll be able to scroll down the page a little bit further, and you'll see a how to apply button. So you'll click on that, then follow the link through to our portal, create an account, and then list your accommodation in order of your preference. So we get 4 choices.
If all of that sounds a little bit complex, please don't worry. Make your way to the website, but you can see running along the bottom of the screen, there's emails and phone numbers, so you can ring Vicky and the team, and they are fabulous. They will help you, and they'll help you go through the whole process. And what about a deposit, Vicky? Because that's often a question that people have. So how do we do deposits here at Lincoln?
So at the moment, there is no deposit. There's just a down payment of £49, which comes off the first month's rent instalment. And if you decide not to come and you don't accept your contract, you will get that refunded to you.
That seems reasonable, doesn't it?
It does, it does. And Adrian's got some really good questions. You asked a question earlier, Adrian, that I really wanted to answer, which was, what are the facilities like in Lincoln Medical School? And I was really excited by that because I actually did a tour of Lincoln Medical School last week, and it was fabulous. It's got a really great clinical skills area. It's got a really great lab. It's got, it's really state of the art. It's got a living wall. It's got an outdoor area by the living wall. It's got a fabulous library within it. It is beautiful, and we were really excited by that. And now you've asked another good question, which I'm going to let Emma answer, which is, are there many green spaces near the accommodation, and how close is the train station?
So the easiest one is the train station, and I would say, Adrian, it is literally from where Vicky's sat now. I would say you could be at the train station in 5 minutes, and that is not an exaggeration. So we are that close. And actual fact, if you're in other sort of accommodations, if you're in 179 High Street, I think you'd be there in about 3 minutes. It is that close. For the green space, there is an awful lot of green space in the city. So we have lots of parks, and again, Lincoln is quite a small city. So places like Hartsend Park, Booton Park are all walkable, sort of really nice green space to actually walk around. And the landscaping around the campus is amazing. Where Ellie has just alluded to, where the medical school is, there is still an amazing green space there that, you know, should it be a very sunny day today, then we would guarantee that there'd be some students sat out there enjoying the sun. So there is still some green areas around the campus as well, but the city has got plenty.
And Georgia would have mentioned that the SU do bike hire. So you can literally grab a bike and you can cycle out to Hartsholme Park, Wisby Nature Reserve. We have amazing nature, literally not far from where Vicky's sat. We've got a family of otters. We've got amazing ducks, Muscovy ducks and swans that live on the campus. Chris Packham, who often comes on lectures at the university as one of our visiting academics, he often does a biodiversity analysis of the campus. And I mean, we are blessed with wildlife here at Lincoln. And I always get very excited because not far away is the coast, probably about an hour's drive. And last year, when I was there, I was so excited because a seal popped up next to me while I was swimming in the sea, and I must have told Emma about it about a million times.
It was very exciting, Ellie, wasn't it?
It was a seal.
I think there's a question from Eve. Can I apply for accommodation before accepting my offer? So can you just sort of advise, because I think that's quite often lots of people want to know that. So if you can answer that, Vicky, that would be helpful.
You do need to accept your offer before you can apply for accommodation.
Brilliant, and thank you. Your trusty assistant, whoever is on the chat at the moment, has just answered that as well. So thank you for that. Is that Kai who's on that chat today? Thank you very
Vicky,
much.
Tell us, what's your favourite thing to do in Lincoln? What would you recommend?
So my favourite thing to do is, again, in the summer, spending time in the green spaces. Where I live, there's loads of green spaces around me. But I also love going to the oldest part of town near the Bailgate, on the pubs and the bars there. Love going there in the summer for drinks with my friends and my family. But I just love it. I think everything's so close and so easy to access, and there's so much to do that people don't even realise. So it's a great place for people to be.
And on a practical level, anyone who's joining us in October, what advice would you give them? How can they get ready now? What should they be doing?
I think they should look online, look what the university provide in the accommodation and for their courses, and just start making a list and start thinking about what they want to bring, what they would like to bring. And then if they've got any questions, just to ask us. It's just, we're not scary people. We'll always help in any way that we can across the university, not just at accommodation. So we'll try to do our best to help and advise and get you ready for the journey that you're about to go on. We're such a friendly university. We try to help however we can.
We certainly do. And obviously, once you're there, if you're feeling a little bit nervous, feeling a little bit sort of unsure of your housemates or whether to join in, I think we have an amazing sort of scheme. Do you want to tell us a little bit about our resident wardens?
So we have our residential wardens, which are available at every accommodation. They are there as a helping hand if you just need someone to talk to, if you're not sure how something works. They will be there to help you in any way that they can. You can contact them. They live on campus, so they're very close and they're always there. So yeah, they're a great system to be able to access and reassure people. So yeah.
Thank you.
That's been brilliant, hasn't it, Emma?
It really has. Thank you, Vicky. I think that accommodation looks incredible. I know well, I'm always very jealous that I wish I was 18 again, but I really do think that's somewhere I would really want to move into, to be honest. It looks incredible. I'd be really happy living there. It is lovely. So thank you so much, Vicky. You've done great. I think it's fair to say that Kai and probably yourself are still available to answer any questions until 7 o'clock if people have any further questions. And as Vicky has also said, they are here to answer any questions in the run-up as part of the cycle as well. So please ask, because they are very, very knowledgeable.
Thank you. Thanks, Vicky. We'll say good night. Have a lovely evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks very much. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Oh, it's lovely to see the team. And we're about to welcome our next special guest, Andre. Hello, Andre.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, we're really good. We're really good. Despite the rain, it's fabulous. It's been a really good day today, hasn't it, Emma?
It has, yeah. We've had a great day. Thank you. Good day. So tell us, where are you, Andre? You are definitely on campus. So tell us where you are.
Definitely on campus. I'm actually close to everyone else. I'm in the new Sarah Swift building, which is where psychology and health and social care students are located. And I'm in one of the wonderful brand new computer labs.
And I think if you look out of your window, you're probably looking at the accommodation that we were just talking about, 179 High Street as well, aren't you?
That is true. Yes.
So tell us, what are you studying, and you know, how did you arrive at Lincoln?
Well, I'm actually an international student. You probably can notice by my accent. I come from the Czech Republic, and I study psychology with clinical psychology with study abroad. And I picked Lincoln because obviously Lincoln's beautiful, as everyone said today, and because my course is a very special one. So it allowed me to special in the area of clinical psychology from the very beginning. And that was something I was really interested in. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Now tell us about your journey, because you've not stayed in Lincoln the whole time. So tell us what opportunity you took hold of at Lincoln.
So between my second and my third year, I actually took a little break to study abroad. I got in contact with our lovely Global Opportunities team, who focus on providing international opportunities to the University of Lincoln students. And I picked a wonderful university in Italy, the University of Padua, which is in the Veneto region, so very close to Venice, which is very useful, as you can imagine, for traveling. And it was a brilliant year abroad. I really enjoyed that. It was like holiday.
Gosh, I bet.
It sounds fabulous. I have to admit, I love Venice. It's beautiful. What was your favourite thing to do in Venice, Andre? Or Padua?
Well, I think the cities, they've got these, tiny narrow streets that you can explore, and they're wonderfully colorful, and they're really close to the sea. So you can just, you can sit there, just have a glass of wine, as the Italians do, and just watch the sunset. And there's usually some live music happening around, because obviously it's Venice, So you get that sort of romantic very out of that.
We would like that, wouldn't we, Emma? That does sound very...
Oh, it sounds amazing. I bet eaten the best pizzas ever when I was in Venice. It's absolutely amazing.
Can confirm, yes.
So tell us what now? What you know, that experience sounds incredible. And sort of you've now in the third year of your study, is that right?
That's right.
So what's next for you? What are your plans? What would you like to do?
Well, actually, my year abroad was very useful in sort of exploring areas that I didn't know from Lincoln, because when you study abroad, at least when you're a psychology student, you can actually pick your modules. So you can go, oh, this is very interesting. We don't have the opportunity to study that at Lincoln. So you can try things that you normally wouldn't have the chance to try. And I really enjoyed doing statistics in Italy. I did some psychiatry as well and some educational psychology. So these things sort of opened new opportunities for me. And now I'm looking into becoming a data analyst. So I'm looking for the right master's degree to sort of pursue that.
You definitely want to continue and do some postgraduate study.
Definitely.
Amazing. Fabulous story.
That is amazing. Tell us a little bit about psychology at Lincoln, because it is one of our very popular courses. So what's it like to study psychology, Andre, at Lincoln?
Well, I would say that very much like everything at Lincoln, the community is the most important thing about studying psychology. And you find out very early on that the lecturers treat us as equals, and they want us to, engage with what we're learning. They want us to discuss things with them. They want us to take part in their research and to sort of be naturally curious. And what I really enjoy about studying psychology at Lincoln is the fact that apart from getting the general knowledge, the assessments are designed in such a way that you can specialize. So you've got your lectures, you're looking at things, and you go, yeah, this is really interesting. So I'm going to study, I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to write about that. So it naturally allows you to focus on what's important to you, which I think is wonderful.
That is really wonderful. And if anyone's watching and they've got a question for Andre, please do send us in your questions. It's a great opportunity to ask someone who's a current student, who's used their time at Lincoln to, I was going to say go around the world, but go to Venice and Padua, which is really amazing. So do ask any questions you've got. It's a bit different from hearing from me and Emma. So Andre, would you recommend the experience of both coming to Lincoln and going overseas on the study abroad?
Oh, absolutely. It's been magnificent. And we've actually got, as I mentioned, we've got a department dedicated to global and international opportunities. And we've got our team member Alice in the chat, I think. So she should also be able to answer some questions. And what I love about Lincoln is that the Global Opportunities Department is always trying to give everyone the chance to go abroad and just experience the world, be it studying, be it working abroad, which we also support both financially and academically. And because we're amidst the pandemic, we've also got many virtual opportunities, so people who are interested in getting international experience can actually do it now, regardless of the conditions. There's a lot of volunteering happening. Just get in touch and find out for yourself. That's what I would say.
Amazing. Emma has asked a question, Andre. So you have to understand the language to travel to, or are the university English speaking?
Well, for us, the Global Opportunities, they pick partners that allow students to study in English.
Oh,
so the courses per se are very useful for learning a foreign language. And if you do speak a foreign language, you can opt in to actually do a module in a foreign language. But it's safe to say that you can study in English throughout your stay abroad. So there's no need to worry about that.
That's amazing.
And do you have any top tips, Andre, for anyone who's thinking of joining us this October? What do you wish you'd known before you came to Lincoln?
That's a great question. I'd definitely be more open to explore, because I feel like when you start and when you're starting at university, it might be a little daunting, a little scary. But I think that the greatest thing that we can do is to just go out there and explore and try everything, even though it might not be something that we normally like to do, because it then gives us the amazing experiences and memories that we have.
That's been absolutely amazing. Andre, thank you so much for your time. I don't want us to fall behind our schedule, so we're going to say a massive thanks. Really top tips, really good advice. Thank you. And thanks to Emma for your question. Thank you, Andre. Emma, I'll get you to take us forwards and introduce our next guest.
So yeah, absolutely. Our next guest is Caroline Connell. Caroline is our Deputy Head of Student Administration or something along those lines. I'm really sorry because that's probably not your exact title, but Caroline has all of the knowledge about your application process. So if you have any questions, you've not applied yet, or you have and you're unsure as to what your offer is, then Caroline is the person to ask right now. So
I'm going to jump in actually, Emma, because you got her title wrong. Caroline is the Queen of Admissions, and I'm going to give her a proper intro. Caroline is a goddess. When my stepson was coming to Lincoln, we got everything wrong. We did everything wrong, and it was thanks to Caroline and her help that we managed to get the application done. We managed to get a place on the course, and everything went well. And she didn't just do it because he was my stepson. She did it because she does it for everyone. She supports everyone, and is just a fabulous person. So anyone with any problems, please use the number at the bottom, use the email, get in touch with Caroline. And Caroline, have I over-egged you there?
No, I think I do like the new title, Ellie. Thank you.
I think it's you. We should get you a crown for these things.
There's also just whilst there is the email address and also the phone number, I think there is another opportunity to be able to chat to the admissions staff as well, Caroline, isn't there?
Yeah, we've also introduced online chat as well. So if you want to chat live with us throughout the day at any point, you can do. So if you've got a quick question and you don't want to pick up the phone, then that's another way to get in touch. And you can do that via our websites if you go on there. So it's just a quick and easy way to get a quick answer.
That's amazing. So the obvious question, we are on the 27th of April. In normal times, there would be some courses that people wouldn't be able to apply for. Tell us, can you still apply to university for a 2021 start?
Yes, you can. You can apply for undergraduate and postgraduate as well. But in terms of undergraduate, you can apply right up until the end of June. So there is still plenty of time. We've got vacancies on most of our courses, but you can just check on our website just to check those ones that might be closed. But most of them are still open. So there is time to make those applications, yes.
Fabulous. We have our first question for you. Is it harder or different for international students to get into Lincoln?
That's a very good question. The process for getting into, for applying to university here is exactly the same as UK students. So it's all done through UCAS. So you make your application online through UCAS. It's really straightforward. And it isn't harder to get in. Obviously, in terms of entry requirements, we very much advertise UK entry requirements, but we're very experienced in getting applications from all over the world, so we do understand the different qualifications across different countries. So if you want any advice at all about whether or not you feel that your qualifications are going to be equivalent, then please just do ask and we'll be able to help you.
Thank you, that's really helpful. So obviously we've had quite a challenging year this year, I think it's fair to say, and particularly for any student applying for university, it has been a really strange sort of sixth form or time at FE college. Yeah. So we are obviously very mindful of that as a university. So tell us, how are we going to be flexible in our approach when we get those results in on the 10th of August?
Yeah, and I think, like you said, Emma, we do recognise that it's been a challenging year, and we really wanted to provide our applicants with some reassurance about what's going to happen, because I know most people are coming to the end of their school year or their college year, and then you've got that gap whilst you wait for your actual results over the summer, and it's a really difficult time. So we were really keen to offer some sort of safety net around the offer that we've given, and that basically means that when we get your results, we will allow a 16-point difference from your original offer to what we actually accept. So that's either from your actual grades or your predicted grades as well. So we'll look at both of those when we come to look at confirming your place. And just to give you an example of what that looks like, if we've made you an offer for 3 Bs, then we would accept you with a B and 2 Cs. And then to give a BTEC example, if it was distinction, merit, we take you with the distinction, merit. So it just gives you that little bit of flexibility and hopefully some reassurance going forward over the next few months.
And that answers Kerry's question as well.
Absolutely does.
Yeah, we have lots of students that come with BTEC qualifications. There are lots of different BTEC qualifications, so it's always worth just asking us that we do accept them, but just about for all of the courses that we do. So yeah, we're very familiar with BTECs.
And how long does it take? Sorry, Emma, I was just going to say, is that all right? Sorry, I'm interrupting. But how long does it take before you know whether or not you've got an offer, Caroline?
It depends on which course you're applying for. So I'll give you a couple of examples. If you're applying for something like psychology or business, then it will be our admissions team that looks at that application or look at your personal statement, your reference, your academic qualifications, and we'll make the decision. So that can be really quick. That can be in a matter of days. But some courses will require perhaps an interview, or you might need to send a portfolio, and if you're doing art and design, and that will take a bit longer because we need to give you some notice to do that, and then you'll need to come for your interview, and then we'll make you your offer after that. But even that, probably looking at sort of 2-3 weeks to do that. So it doesn't take too long.
Absolutely. We've got a question from Ryan, which is quite a relevant question, particularly at this part of the cycle, I think. It's what happens in terms of an application as a mature student. Some of the qualifications I've got are older and not really relevant anymore. Is the work experience reference more heavily weighed on? Work experience reference more heavily weighed on. I'm sure I read that right, but I'm sure you can read it yourself, Caroline, and sort of offer any advice to Ryan.
Yeah, that's a really good question, Ryan. And we do have lots of mature applicants that do come and study here. And obviously we'll look at qualifications. We're quite experienced and sort of looking at your older qualifications and what you might have done. But you're absolutely right. It's your work experience that perhaps is key to that. So we'll be looking really closely at that, what you've done in the past in terms of your work history. And we will take that into account. And Ryan, if you want to sort of talk to us again, either by phone or email, and just give us a very quick summary of what you've done, we'd be very happy to give you advice. But we do tend to look at the application as a whole for mature students. So yeah, don't be put off if your qualifications are a little bit out of date or older.
And we should answer Daniela's question. Daniela is asking whether the flexible safety net will be in place next year, Caroline.
That I don't know, Ellie. We've done it for this year. I guess we'll have to see what happens with the school year next year as the restrictions lift and hopefully things start improving.
Well, fingers crossed. As you said, it's impossible to know what's coming. We're using the word unprecedented, and we know that it's been a really challenging year for everyone, but particularly for those going through their final years at school, and which is why Caroline sort of talked about the flexible safety net that we have. And what about for you, Caroline? What would you recommend for anyone who's thinking about joining us in October? What should they be doing or thinking about now to get ready?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of if you haven't applied yet, as we said earlier, there's still time to apply. And if you want to look at some valuable information, there's lots of information on the UCAS site, but there's also a lot of information on our own website. So we've got course pages for each of our programmes, and have a good look through those because they've got a wealth of information on there, not only about the course, how you'll study, what the modules you'll do, but lots of information about the application process as well. So what sort of entry requirements that we're looking for, whether or not you'll need an interview. That's always good to be looking for that. So again, that's a really good source of information if you want to go onto those pages and have a look.
It really is. And what if we are, and obviously this information will be on the website, but if you are holding an offer from us, and you're sort of starting to get all your offers in, and you know that Lincoln is the right place for you, obviously, what and how do you accept your offer? So we've got a window now for people to do that.
Yeah, and it's a good point, Emma, because applicants have got and sort of mid-June to make decisions on all of their choices. So UCAS Track is probably the best source of information. So that will tell you where you've got your offers, how you need to apply, and when you need to apply. If you've got an offer from us and you're still waiting to hear from your other choices, you can still go ahead and accept our offer if you want to, that is, and withdraw from your other choices. So you don't necessarily have to wait until you've heard back from everyone. But if you want to wait until you've got all your offers in, then obviously we would advise them. But I think it's the 10th of June that's the deadline for making those decisions. But check Track, because that will tell you when you need to apply.
That's really helpful. Thank you. Do we want to take another question, Ellie, do you think?
That sounds like a super idea, Emma.
So shall we go to Sophie, and what kinds of scholarships do you offer? And obviously we know that Sophie is a international student, or
she's from Canada.
Potentially an international student.
Yeah.
Well, we saw earlier she's definitely from Canada, because I thought, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, our website has got a fantastic page on there about all the different scholarships that are available, whether you're an international student or a UK student. So check those out. There's probably too many for me to mention now, but I don't know if Darren might be able to just put the website page up, because there is a lot of information in there.
There certainly is, and there are all sorts. So particularly for people that are studying in an FE college or an access course or places like that, there are new scholarships for this year as well. So it is definitely worth looking at those pages to see if there is something that is relevant to you and how to apply for those.
And David's coming with a really good question. David's saying, am I guaranteed a place at Lincoln if I get the grades on my offer? So Caroline's going to explain the safety net as well again.
Yeah. So David, yes, absolutely you are, if you meet the conditions of those offers. And as I said, for the majority of our courses, if you get within 16 points of that original offer, then we will accept you. But I would just say for people that are waiting for those decisions, the key date for most results, so A-levels, BTECs, Access, is going to be the 10th of August. So when you get up in the morning on the 10th of August, log into Track, because that should tell you whether or not you've been accepted, and your conditional place should change to an unconditional place if you've got in, and hopefully everything will be fine, David. So you should see that update.
And what if on the 10th of August, which we know there'll be lots of people that have sleepless nights on the 9th, what if they go onto Track and nothing's changed, or they've been unsuccessful, or they're not quite sure what Track is telling us? What would be the first thing to do at that stage?
If you're one of our applicants and it hasn't changed, then ring us. We have lots and lots of people available on that day to take those calls, and usually for us it's because there's something missing, so we haven't got a full set of results. But I would also say for people that have applied elsewhere and on that date are suddenly having having second thoughts and perhaps thinking, oh, we should come to Lincoln or gone somewhere else. I think we touched on clearing earlier, but clearing is a really good opportunity. It's sort of your final opportunity to make any real changes. So if at that point you think, I really want to come to Lincoln, then again, get in touch, because we should have places available in clearing. We spoke about having accommodation as well through clearing. So if you're either changing your mind or you're really late about applying and suddenly think, I wish I had, you still can. So there is still time. But again, I think our advice would be just get in touch, find out what you need to do, and we'll guide you through that process.
And my top tip would be, please try and visit. It's so useful to visit campus and get a feel for whether or not you think Lincoln is the right place for you, especially if you've not been here before and you haven't applied and you're not really sure. Come and meet us, because then you'll get a sense of it really. And it's so important. Absolutely. But Caroline, my question for you is, what's your favourite thing to do in Lincoln?
Well, we talked a lot about the Bailgate area, didn't we? But I was, now we can sort of start going out a bit more. I was up in the castle on Sunday, so I walked around the castle, walked around the walls, and I haven't done that for ages. And we talk a lot about the cathedral, but the castle is right opposite, and it's a beautiful place to be. So just being anywhere up in that Bailgate is just wonderful. And it was a really nice day on Sunday, so it was lovely being up there.
It is very magical. It is. Yeah. And Emma, I'm going to ask you the same question whilst we're here. What's your...
no, I'm going to have to say something different. You asked me this earlier. It's like up in the Bailgate area and all of the shops and those sort of areas. That is my favourite thing. But for a county of Lincolnshire, I think one of my favourite things is the fact that you can literally drive across to the coast in an hour. And there's also, there's the very famous sort of Mablethorpe and Skegness, but there's also some really lovely sort of beaches along the coastal area of Lincolnshire, and that's one of my favourite things at any part of the year really. But a nice, an hour away, we're at the coast.
It is an undiscovered gem, really, and lots of people don't realise that we've got this amazing sort of world-class university right in the heart. We're Modern University of the Year this year, according to the Times on Sunday Times. We're TEF Gold. We've got excellent research that is changing the world in terms of what our academics are doing, and we have amazing people. Someone was asking what was special about creative writing at Lincoln, and we have Caroline Duffy, the previous poet laureate, who's visiting artist, who comes and lectures, and just amazing experiences that you just can't imagine. And Lincoln is just this hub of bustling excellence, really, where all these really exciting things go on. And I think that's what I really love about the university and really love about the city. And we really are one community. It's a very friendly place. It's a home from home. It's a very safe place to come and be a student and to find your feet. And there's a lot of support, isn't there? And Caroline, I'll aim this at you and Emma, but in terms of student support that's available.
Yeah. Elia, if you don't mind, I'll just answer one question, I think, from Muna, is asking about a CAS. And for those of you that don't know what a CAS is, it's a certificate of acceptance of studies that you need if you're an international student and you need a visa to come into the UK. And Muna, you usually apply for your CAS about 3 months before your course starts. So I hope that answers your question. And you'll find, again, further details about how to do that in an offer letter, but also on a website as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Caroline. It's been really good to spend some time with you, and I think that's fabulous. Unless you've got any final questions for Caroline, Emma?
No, my final points really are, obviously, for anybody that is going through the application process, don't forget to apply for your student finance, which is open now. And you will have sort of until beginning of June to guarantee that your funds are in place for October. So that's one thing. And if you know that you are getting and receiving additional support at school or college, then please seek out our wellbeing team, because they are here. They are absolutely amazing at offering support. So it doesn't stop as you come to university. The support is still there. If you're getting support already at school or college, then please shout out and don't hide, because Julie Spencer and her team are here and they will help in that transition. We've got an amazing sort of wellbeing team.
And we've got a question from Keris, and Keris is looking to start in 2022. And I think from what you said earlier, Keris, it's probably a healthcare course you're interested in. But Keris is asking, when would be the best time to start applying, Caroline?
From this September onwards. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Which is not that far away, is it?
And Caroline, is there anything we should have asked you before you go? Is there anything we should have asked you before you leave us?
I don't think so, Ellie. I think just the point from us is just if you've got any questions, please just ring us up. I know we've talked about how friendly Lincoln is, but we really are, and we're really happy to take your calls. And I know I've got my colleagues Emma and Eleanor who are here also from the team, so they're on the question and answer session. So if you've got anything, you can ask them. But again, just get in touch. We'll be really happy to help you. It's been nice to talk to you.
A huge thank you to you and the team for your time this evening. You guys have a lovely evening. We'll say goodbye to you, Caroline. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Caroline.
Oh, Emma, it's been a fabulous, fabulous evening again.
It has, it really has, yeah. And I think we come into the time where they're chucking us out, Ellie, because we're too old and we don't know what it's like to join university in 2021 or 2022. But the people that do are Darren and Marvin, because they are much closer. They're both alumni of the University of Lincoln, both did very different courses and both came from very different parts of the UK to join us at Lincoln, didn't they? So is it time for us to sort of hand over to them, Ellie, do you think?
I think it is. I think Darren and Marvin are going to kick us out because we're old and we're past it, and they're going to tell you how to get ready for Lincoln. But don't forget, at 6:40, parents talk with the amazing Curtis Reed. So parents, be here at 6:40. And then everyone else, you can find out all about the courses, but Darren and Marvin will remember to tell you how to do that. I know they will, even though they're young. Me and Emma are old and forgetful, so it's goodbye from me. Thank you very much.
And from me, thanks ever so much. Hand over to Marvin and Darren. Thanks a lot.
See you soon. Thank you very much. Marvin, they've allowed us to take over again. I'm the colour coordinator this time. We're going to do well. So everyone's met me already probably earlier this evening. I'm Darren and I studied film and TV, graduated in 2014. That's pretty much all you need to know about me. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Marvin. What did you study?
I studied business and management and I graduated in 2018 and it was a blast, really.
Brilliant. I think, and what we're going to cover actually is not necessarily experience at uni, but the time before uni, that really exciting period where, well, I say exciting, you're probably a little bit nervous as well, because you're about to go to university, you've got lots of options to think about, lots of accommodation to think about, all sorts to think about. But what we're going to do, and we're going to use this opportunity, aren't we, Marvin, to give you we'll share a little bit about our experience and some advice as well. So hopefully it'll be more exciting than nervous. But Marvin, do you want to kick us off and just tell us a bit about your experience when you went to university, and especially that period before? What were you thinking and feeling at that point?
So I came from the south of England, Colchester, whoop, whoop. And I was really nervous about where I wanted to go and had to look into everything. And I did all the research and I went online and found people on Facebook, when it came to like looking for rooms and stuff, finding who was going to be where and what was going to be like living with them and stuff. Just kind of trying to find everything I could possibly find out. And then, the day finally came. My parents took me to, the uni, dropped me off. And then as I watched them drive off, I wonder what they were thinking, really. But it was, when I say nerve-wracking, once you actually kind of get into it, it's amazing. But what about you? What was it like for you?
Oh, honestly, not too different. More up north, Barnsley, that's me. I think I was a little bit nervous, but more excited. I was the first person in my family to go to university, so I was nervous, obviously, but it's such a huge thing. I'm moving away from the first time, making brand new friends. It's such a unique period of your life, and it is brilliant. But not too dissimilar from you, Marvin. And I think the reason that we wanted to discuss this to start off with is that everyone will be in the same boat. If you're feeling nervous, everyone else is going to feel nervous. So some of the best things you can do is start to make friends before you go to university and just make that whole process a little bit easier, because when you go, there'll be someone that you know already, and that will hopefully put your mind at ease. Before we get into how we do that, though, I will just ask if anyone, for those who are watching, please do ask us your questions in the comment section. Any admissions questions, we might need to send you to admissions. This is more like, do you need to bring a kettle? How do I make friends at university? And is there an Nando's nearby? We can help with all of those questions. And as well, if you want to put your course that you've applied for or planning on applying for in the comment section as well, we are going to try and pair some people at the end and hopefully start to help people get to know other people on your future course mates, so the people that you're going to be studying with on a daily basis. So we can try and do that. So please do let us know what course you've applied for in the comment section, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Now, Marvin, making friends before university. I can talk a little bit more about this, but how did you make friends before university?
I personally was, racked with nerves. It was going to be the first time I was moving out, and I was going to be living with, I had no clue who I was going to be living with. And so my first aim was to get on every platform I could to kind of see where and how I could find the people, that might have been staying where I was staying. And I came across a few of them, and we managed to kind of like chat beforehand as well. And honestly, I would implore everyone to really get out there and get on the platforms and ask, the questions and put yourself out there, because everyone is trying to figure out. And there are things like Friends for Life. You could you talk a bit about Friends for Life? You'll definitely know a lot more than I do on this.
I can, thank you, Marvin. Yeah, well, as part of producing virtual events for the university, I do run our Friends for Life network as well. And below you can see my co-producer Jamie has put the link up. So if you did want to have a look into the Friends for Life scheme, please do check out that link. In summary, what it is, it's just a way of helping all our applicants get to know other applicants before you arrive. And we do that via various methods. It could be via interests. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, we can try and help you put with other Harry Potter fans. If you're a fan of football, we can help you put you with other football fans and just help put you in touch. What we also do as well is we create the official subject Facebook groups and the official accommodation Facebook groups as well. And we let anyone know who signs up to those to Friends for Life. We basically just connect you through those groups as well. And Marvin, how useful would it have been when we were applying for university for the university to help us with setting up those Facebook groups? Because I don't know about you, I was trying to do it manually and just searching everywhere across social media, trying to find anyone who was
absolutely. And honestly, it was a bit of a mad one. And once you did find them, it was really but trying to keep up with comment sections anywhere is definitely one that's a challenge. So this whole Friends, but once I did finally meet them, wow, like it the first few weeks was a little but then we just kind of became a family. I became adopted by these people, and even now, still to this day, they haven't. They're trying to get rid of me, but they're going to struggle.
And signing up for Friends for Life is pretty easy. All you have to do is just check out the link below. If Jamie can pop that link back up again, just head over to that link and you just simply tell us some of the interests that you have out of a really long list of interests. Tell us the course you've applied for, and then we'll do a lot of the legwork. We will, in the background, we'll work to help connect you guys on various social media platforms, on our official applicant platforms that we like to call them. So it's dead easy. Just check out that link, and hopefully as part of this, for those of you who are commenting with your subjects, have a look at the list of comments at the end, and chances are you'll find someone else who's going to be studying the same thing or has applied for the same thing. So we can see a couple. We can see Ryan, who's hopefully applying for computer science, and Evelyn, politics and events management, and there's a whole load more. So have a look at those at the end of this. But Marvin, you just touched upon a point which I wanted to raise, which was making friends when you get to university and anything you need to prepare for that. Because, as you said, you are still really close friends with your flatmates. I'm still really close friends with some of the people that I live with, even from day one, from my courts days. For me personally, I think, bring some games or something, break the ice, have some nice flat meals or something. But what would for students who are planning to come into university and are maybe nervous about making friends, and maybe they've signed up to Friends for Life already, but what should they expect, and what should they maybe prepare to do once they arrive to help that?
I mean, what I'm going to say is really cliche, and I mean, I think it's been said a few times, but be open-minded because you're going to meet a world of people. So, for me, it's bring an open mind because, the possibilities are endless. You could end up in Venice, like Andre. The things that you can do are amazing, but when you come and meet everyone, I think for me, one of the things I love doing and I'm obsessed with is food. So bring recipes and, bring an open mind to be able to teach everyone the recipes and everything along that line as well. As well as have a look at the societies as well, because something like I think you touched upon the Harry Potter Society, which is really going strong. Gryffindor myself, but you know where it is.
Head of
And
Gryffindor for a very short while. Don't mean to brag.
best. Well, I'm not gonna start anything.
Did you
But
join any
yeah.
societies yourself, Marvin?
I was friends with a lot of people in football and rugby, but I myself the most fun I had was with the Afro Caribbean Society. And again, this may come back to food. I do exercise, I promise. But there was loads of like cookouts and events that brought us together. That was brilliant, and lots of like different things that engaged, a different part of Lincoln as well, because the diversity really was there as well.
Yeah, and that actually brings us on to a question from Holly. Is the sport and exercise science course popular, and is there a good sporting community? I can say I didn't study sport and exercise science. I do know it's a very popular course though. And in terms of sporting community, there's a huge sporting community. In fact, the SU have actually just commented on the YouTube chat section, which is going to massively help me out, because I know they do lots of stuff to do with sports, including the books as well, and other leagues and friendly. So thank you very much, Lincoln SU, for that. But there's a huge amount of sports and societies, as you've just mentioned, Marvin, a lot of sports clubs and a lot of league tournaments and things like that. We have the Human Performance Centre and lots of five-side pitches, a huge pitch as well to the side of that. One thing I'd recommend is go on our YouTube channel and just search for Sports at Lincoln, and you will see the amount of stuff that we do with the SU, and also as part of your education as well. One thing I'll mention at this point is, if you are planning to come to university and you've maybe gone through Friends for Life, or you're still a little bit nervous, we do have an amazing wellbeing team here at the university. And they can help you on a range of issues and topics, and you can reach out to them now. You don't have to wait until you're a student. So there's lots of things we can do to help you in this process, in your sort of preparation for university. If we can get a link to place at the bottom here or in the chat, we'll try and get some contacts there for you, because they are really, really useful if you are planning to go to university and you're a little unsure. Maybe it just might be that you think you might feel a little bit homesick, or you just want to plan a little bit more. They're really useful contacts and really lovely people as well. And again, if you just do some research, have a look at our website and our YouTube channel, there's a lot of content about those services that are there to help you, really. And so, Marvin, I think I'll just kind of finish on the sort of big question. What should people start buying and packing? What should people be preparing in their giant suitcase that they're getting ready for university? It's probably too big, What should they bring?
I'm going to stay on brand, and I'm going to say bring an easy cookbook guide. And when I say easy, I mean the quick fire omelets and everything, and just perfect those, because you're going to be waking up with about 20 minutes to spare before your lecture, and you need to grab something to eat. And yeah, that is kind of where. What about you? What would you say?
Oh, I mean, that is a great shout. I really could have done with something like that, because I was on ready meals for far too long, and that would have been amazing. But I think something like, card games, something really simple like that, something universal that everyone can play. I think that's a really good icebreaker for when you go to university. I think it just really helps to sort of gel with your flatmates a little bit once you're here, really. So any games and things like that, any home comforts and that sort of thing, definitely recommend. If you are unsure on whether to bring certain appliances, do have a look at our accommodation website, because there's a lot of information on what you might need to bring or might not need to bring. And so what we need to do is remind people that actually there's subject sessions on our website as part of the virtual open day. Just head over to that link at the bottom of your screen. There'll be lots of subject sessions there. A lot of those are pre-recorded for this event, but really valuable information, and we'll explain a lot about the programs and the schools here at the university. But we are getting ready to bring on Curtis, who will be talking to parents and talking all about the information that parents need to know ahead of their son or daughter going to university. But any final thoughts from you, Marvin, before we hand over to Curtis?
I would say that I guess if the students are nervous, the parents will be double so. But everyone involved, it is the experience of a lifetime, and it was brilliant. And the people I met and the things I got to do and the places and the things that have come from it, it's been amazing. And Lincoln has been an absolute treat, and still is true, to be honest. They're trying to get but yeah, that'd be it. And that's where I'll pass it back to you and let Curtis take it away from.
Thank you very much, Marvin. I completely agree. And let's say hello to Curtis. Hi, Curtis.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How is everyone?
Very good, very good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm looking forward to obviously telling everybody about what they can kind of expect and what things to kind of just wrap up the evening. And obviously, it's been amazing to see you guys talk so openly about your university experience. University is just amazing.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Always great talking to you as well, Marv, about our experiences. And I know you do a great job as well, Curtis, wrapping up today's event after your brilliant parents talk. So we'll leave it with you and enjoy, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone who's watched at home. Thank you.
Thanks, Darren, and thanks, Marvin. So, hi, everyone. My name is Curtis, and I'm the London Stakeholder Manager here at the university. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the important things that your child needs to be considering between submitting their UCAS application and starting university, and how you as a parent can help. So if there are parents of first-year students looking to apply in September 2021, then this is what will happen next year. So very much the next steps. Some of what I will talk about will reinforce what others have already said, and some might be new to you as well. So please feel free to, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments, and I, a member of the team, will do our best to answer them for you. So your son or daughter has completed the UCAS application and applied to university. What happens next? What do you need to be thinking about between now and the start of university? So the main things that I'll touch on over the next 10 minutes or so are the offers, so firm and insurance choice, student finance, additional financial help, accommodation, budgeting, and then we'll end with some top tips. So let's have a look at these areas in a little bit more detail. So I'll start with the offers. Firstly, get them to double check the offers as they come in. This is really important, and really make sure that they fully understand them. If they don't, get them to call or email the university in question for clarification. Okay, so it's really important they understand the offer. Most of the offers should be conditional. Do they think they meet the conditions? A small minority may be unconditional, where they're accepted regardless of grades, as some universities are still offering those. We here at Lincoln make conditional offers, however. If they don't understand the decision, again, please do get them to call or email the university and request for clarification, particularly if it's a reject. A reject could be as simple as a misqualification on their application, which can be rectified sometimes, but the university will tell them why they were rejected. Once your child gets all their offers or decisions back from the university they've applied to, they'll be required by UCAS to choose a firm and then an insurance choice. This is assuming that they've applied for 2 or more courses. If they've applied for one and one only, it automatically becomes their firm choice. So firm then, this is the university your child will go to if they meet the entry requirements on the day. Insurance is the backup. The one on results say that if they don't meet the requirements for their firm choice, it will drop to the insurance. If the conditions are met for the insurance, it becomes their firm on results day. Ideally, get them to think about the insurance choice too, as it makes sense for it to have lower entry requirements. Otherwise, the insurance may reject and your child could be put into clearing. As Caroline said before, here at Lincoln, we put students at the heart of all we do, and in response to the challenges students are currently facing, we've introduced a flexible admissions process. So this is like a safety net wrapped around their offers this year. This, in simple terms, means we will consider your child's best work to ensure we're being fair and to take account of the impact the pandemic has had on their learning and the outcomes. Therefore, when confirming a place at the University of Lincoln, we will take a flexible approach across the majority of our programs. All the students we make offers to are those we feel would be an asset to our community, and we want to reduce concerns among them and their families about the impact of the pandemic on their futures. When we receive confirmation of your child's results, we will consider both their actual and predicted grades alongside the personal statement and reference. We will guarantee their place if meeting either the following criteria. Their confirmed or predicted grades are no more than 16 UCAS tariff points below the conditions of the offer. Subject-specific requirements may still need to be met, however. If they've applied for more than 2 courses after choosing firm and insurance, the rest are rejected by UCAS on the student's behalf, so they're only able to have 2. Students do need to check UCAS track on a regular basis. It's there that they'll be informed of the date they need to make firm and insurance choices. If they miss that date, UCAS will reject by default all of their offers. Please make your child aware to check track on a regular basis. If it does happen to them, it's not the end of the world. Their firm and insurance choice will reinstate them, but it's very stressful for the student and therefore likely for you too, and more work for the university. Moving on then, student finance is probably the second most important thing your child will need to do to go to university. As soon as the application cycle opens, get them to start applying. Their school or college will be notified that the cycle has started and they can set up their own alert. They don't need to wait until their firm choice is decided either. The loans are essentially 2 separate pots of money, but students apply for them both at the same time. You need to push them to apply as quickly as possible, as Students Finance England set a deadline, and this is normally the end of May, early June. If students meet the deadline with all the information that Student Finance England need, it guarantees to have their funding in place for when they start. So pot 1 then, this is the tuition fee loan and it's not means tested. So it means that they get what they ask for, up to a maximum of £9,250, and it's paid directly into the institution by SFE on their behalf. It doesn't just pay for someone to teach your child, it pays for the teaching facilities and all the other learning resources on campus that they have access to. So this is really important. Pot 2, this is the maintenance loan and it pays towards everything else. So rent, food, bills, social life, and transport, for instance, which thankfully you don't have to do that much of or have to use that much at Lincoln. However, this time it's means tested. So the amount a student gets is dependent on where they study, live while studying, and most important, the household income of the home they currently live in. There is a guaranteed minimum, though, that everybody gets regardless of household income. And this time it's paid into their bank account in 3 equal installments, and they can use the money as they see fit. Just to note, they also may have a bank account already, but I would advise your child to look for a student bank account, as they offer overdraft facilities, better interest rates, incentives, so freebie sometimes. Some banks offer, rail passes, etc. If you sign up. Regardless of whether they change to a student bank account or not, they will need an account in some form to apply for student finance. That's really important. Additional help for your child financially can come from a range of sources, including Student Finance England, universities, and other organisations. Student Finance in particular have grants to help those with disability, care needs, dependent adults, and students who have an overseas placement as part of their course. More information can be found on the gov.uk Student Finance site. All universities will support students through scholarships and bursaries, so please do check what's being offered. And I know it was mentioned earlier on today with Emma and Ellie. Here at the University of Lincoln, we have a large number of scholarships and bursaries, including our 4 new Vice-Chancellor scholarships, each worth £5,000. And these are to help cover living costs as students continue their education at degree level. All of the new scholarships have been supported through a donation by the University of Lincoln's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mary Stewart, CBE, and more details on all our scholarships can be found on our website, which is www.lincoln.ac.uk. When looking, your child needs to check the application process for all of them. When, how, and how do they need to apply? It will vary depending on what they're looking for. The best bit about that is that they're all non-repayable. Whatever they get, they keep. So moving on then to accommodation, and I know some of you may have watched the accommodation talk, so I won't speak for too long on it. However, if your child is looking to move away from home for their university education, accommodation is something else that should be high on their and your priority list. Again, it needs doing sooner rather than later, as most universities allocate on a first-come, first-served basis. So get your child to start looking at options for all the institutions they've applied to. Or if they're pretty sure of their firm and insurance choices, definitely looking at those as a minimum. Application cycles for accommodation vary from university to university, and they can be quite competitive depending on the amount of accommodation the university actually has to offer. It can also be competitive depending on what your child wants too. So options around the UK include self-catered halls, half-board, full board, ensuite, or even shared housing. However, here at Lincoln, we currently offer self-catered student accommodation, with the vast majority being ensuite and all are within easy walking distance of the campus, as you saw earlier today. Whether they can apply for accommodation may also be determined on the basis of making that university their firm or insurance choice. It certainly is here at Lincoln. When they do make that choice, get your child to think about applying for accommodation at those universities straight away, or at least check that they can. Knowing exactly where a student will live while at university is important, not just for them, but you, their families too. At Lincoln, we know that finding the right place to live is an essential part of your child's student experience. We aim to help all our new students find their home from home. As Vicky said earlier, this is why we're making a guarantee for new undergraduates joining us at the university in autumn 2021. We guarantee a room in a university residence to all new students who apply for accommodation with us by the 1st of September 2021. So they don't need to worry about finding a suitable room elsewhere. And all our university managed accommodation is covered by our residential warden scheme. Allocation of accommodation is not normally done by universities until results day, and it does differ from university to university. So it may be some time between your child applying and hearing from the chosen institution, other than confirmation that the application has been received. This is normal, so don't panic. Everything I've covered so far is important, so you may benefit from making a to-do list, a priority list of things that can be crossed off as you go. So then, budgeting. The vast majority of students, when they attend university, will not have an infinite pot of money to live off. I certainly didn't. Before your child goes to university, it's worth spending time with them, working out how much they will spend a week, a month, on rent and other bills, transport, food, and their social life, really getting them to think about budgeting. This is what the maintenance loan is there to help with, specifically. If they and you are not sure what the loan is likely to be, you can get a rough estimate using a student finance calculator. The gov.uk, SFE, and Martin Lewis student finance sites all have one, and it will give you a rough estimate. Just getting them to plan and do a food shop for you is also a good experience of how much things really do cost. So then, having done the budgeting dry run, if there's likely to be a shortfall between what they get and what they spend, how can they improve this and bring the odds back in their favor? A part-time job is another. There are normally plenty of opportunities to get a job once they've started university, or if they have one already, they can transfer. Lots of big companies allow this. I know for myself, I worked at JD Sports in London, and when I moved to university, I transferred branch. Teaching is also usually flexible enough to allow students to have a job too. Students could become part of the university student ambassador scheme. They assist with open days, on-campus visits, mail shots, external visits, and so much more. It's paid in one form or another. Certainly here at Lincoln, it's paid in cash and is great for their CV, confidence, and independence building. So one final one for them to consider is also discounts. An NUS or recognised student card will get them discounts wherever they go, be it in retail, cinema, restaurants, and much, much more. It saves them lots of money. Traveling by train a lot, make sure they get a student rail card, as I mentioned before. Some student bank accounts do offer this, which would give you 33% off fares. Just get them to check and remember those additional funding opportunities too that I've talked about. There's lots of ways they could get help and extra money. So my top tips then. Planning the next steps that we have looked at is key for your child in the run-up to starting university once they've applied, as there are so many deadlines they need to hit and there'll be consequences to them if they don't. Applying for finance, that potential additional support, firm and insurance choices and accommodation are the ones you need to be aware of in particular. And as I've said, to-do lists are often a great way of planning and reminding them and you. Keeping a regular check on UCAS Track will tell them all they need to know about the progress of their applications and what they need to do next. Budgeting is an essential skill and they need to learn it quickly so that you can help and advise if you think that your son or daughter might need it. If they have a part-time job, is there a possibility that they can transfer locations? As I said, fast food chains and large retail shops are normally happy to do this if it's possible, if there's space. They or you should never be afraid to ask a question either, no matter how small or silly or trivial it may seem. There are so many ways to do it too. So here at Lincoln, you can ask through our social media accounts, as Darren might have mentioned earlier. We've got the live link ups, the email, phone, through Unibuddy, direct to a student, and even post. Whichever way, we'll endeavour to answer as quickly as possible. Talking of social media, why not join our parents' Facebook group and get your child to join their social media group, such as Friends for Life, as Marvin and Darren mentioned. And finally, more than anything, your support, guidance, and interest is essential to ensure your child and you have a smooth transition into university life. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you found this information helpful and useful to understand what is still to come, and we look forward to your son or daughter joining us in the near future.